Welcome back to the IBSP. Here's your host, Foxy New.
Callum Smith likes the idea of fighting David Benavidez next. And look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And Callum Smith has come out and stated that he likes the idea of fighting David Benavidez next. He did an interview with The Ring where he stated, I don't know if David Benavidez is next. Eddie Hearn said he has a few meetings this week and he'll let me know what the plan is, whether they're fighting David or not. He also went on to state that David Benavidez is a very, very good fighter. He's someone that I like and that I rate. We were both champions at the same time down at 168 pounds. It's a fight I always thought would happen at some point. It probably should have happened back then, but it didn't. But we're both at 175 now. It's a fight that I like. Stylistically, it should be a good one as well. So we will see. So it sounds like this is a very real possibility of this fight happening next. And as we know, they're currently in discussions with David Benavidez. Eddie Hearn said a couple of weeks ago that we're talking to Luis de Cubas about David Benavidez against Callum Smith. So this is definitely a great matchup. This is definitely a great stylistic clash. And this would probably be David Benavidez's toughest fight. And his toughest fight at 175 as well. I mean, he'd be fighting a big puncher in Callum Smith, a guy who has multiple knockouts at 175 pounds, while David Benavidez has none at the weight. And you also look at it like this. Not only is Callum Smith a big puncher, somebody that David Benavidez is going to have to be prepared for, we also see that, this is a fight that should have happened years ago when they were both champions at 168, but David Benavidez never thought to unify in all his time at 168 pounds. And, you also have Callum Smith coming off a massive win against Joshua Buatsi. And you also have David Benavidez coming off a big win against David Morrell. So this would make a great fight. If David Benavidez were to beat a guy like Callum Smith, I think that would actually add to his resume. It would make him look like a much better fighter. And, you've even seen David in the past dismiss Callum Smith as being a weak fighter at 168. So we'll see how weak he is when he fights David at 175, because, you can't say he was weak when Canelo fought him and then turn around and say he's a good fighter when you fight him. You got to keep the same energy. I think Callum Smith is a great opponent for David. He's also slightly dangerous for David because we've seen David on the canvas against a journeyman. So this would be a great fight, but I would still favor David Benavidez to win this fight. I think David Benavidez is an excellent fighter, and I would hope that David Benavidez gets his shot at Canelo Alvarez or Dimitri Bivol the following year.